Imagine if Earth was as small as Pluto? It's a small world after all, because today, we're shrinking Earth to the size of Pluto. But if our planet was this tiny, Pluto sits on the solar system's edge, just beyond Neptune's orbit. It was once considered a planet. But then in 2006 scientists demoted this celestial body to a dwarf planet. All because Pluto isn't big enough to gravitationally dominate in its own orbit. After all, this dwarf planet is only 2/3 the diameter of our Moon. Living so, if Earth was as tiny as Pluto, how would 8 billion people fit on it? Say goodbye to your personal elbow room. We would have to fit everyone into an area slightly bigger than Russia, 71% of which would be covered with oceans. But the good news is this shrunken Earth would still have room for everyone. Just barely. You and every person on the planet would have about 1.5 tennis courts to yourselves. The problem is that doesn't take into account the space we still need for hospitals, airports and roads. Once we build those, things would start getting cramped. Add to that all the uninhabitable areas like deserts and mountains, and you won't have enough room to comfortably fit everyone. But if you're looking for a quick escape, it would be easy for you to make a break for it. One jump could catapult you almost 7.6 meters, 25 feet, into the air. And that leap would last for almost 10 seconds, giving you a spectacular view of the horizon. You could also run faster since there would be less friction. But, watch out for slick surfaces. They could send you flying long distances because there wouldn't be enough gravity to keep you in place. Refrain from overexerting yourself with all this running. On this dwarf planet, the air pressure would also be small. So no matter where you're at, it would feel like standing on a mountaintop 5,000 meters, 16,404 feet, high. Yeah, with less oxygen to breathe, you would be constantly gasping for air. If you're lucky, this high-altitude sickness will leave you lightheaded. But, if you're unlucky, it could kill you. But even that wouldn't be the worst-case scenario if the Milky Way always had a mini-Earth. Technically, the lack of gravity would make Earth uninhabitable. A study out of Harvard from 2019 found that a planet needs a mass of at least 2.7% of the Earth to keep water on the surface. If Earth had formed to be the size of Pluto 4.5 billion years ago, it would never have its mighty oceans now. How would this affect the Moon? Well, Pluto's largest moon, Charon, doesn't orbit the dwarf planet. Instead, the two bodies are tidally locked with the same sides, always facing each other. Our dwarf Earth would be forever facing the Moon in the same position, locked in place by a common center of mass caused by our competing gravitational pulls. But all of this would be the least of our problems. If Earth was this small, its inner core would be much cooler. Now, that might sound good at first. Earthquakes would stop because there wouldn't be shifting tectonic plates anymore. Volcanoes would become harmless mountains. But unfortunately, Earth wouldn't have a protective magnetic field without the hot molten core. With this gone, the radiation from the sun would fry our planet. Now, imagine if Earth wasn't formed to be the size of Pluto. Imagine if instead it suddenly shrunk. Well, then our planet would keep its mass. But that would make the surface gravity 30 times stronger than what it is now. With intense training, the human body can survive on a planet with 4 times the Earth's gravity. But a planet with 10 times the gravity of Earth? That would break your bones. If you weighed 75 kilograms, 165 lb, before, now you would weigh around 2,300 kilograms, 5,000 lb. Every move you make would take serious muscle power, and you may not have it in you, no matter how hard you try. An instantaneous dwarf Earth would cause mass devastation. It could destroy every